Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast. I'm Kris. I'm joined once again by my brother, Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to talk more gaming, and we are getting ever closer to the Game Awards 2023. One of the most, I get excited about it every time we come up to it. I think it's
Yeah,
a
well,
fun time, fun show.
it's like it's the official one, isn't it? Because I remember I used to
I think so, yeah.
I get confused when it's like, oh, this game won over 80 game awards or Game of the Year awards. I'm like, but
Yeah.
there's only one award show. So that's to me is the official one. I only count that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's
Really.
loads, right? There's loads, and obviously, various games get Game of the Year for different outlets and different
Yeah.
companies and different. But all eyes are on this one, I think, in the
Yeah.
gaming industry. We record ahead of time, so by time this episode comes out, actually, the nominees will get revealed. They're being revealed this week, right?
Mm.
So, with that in mind, we have decided that we're going to spend these 2 episodes doing our predictions episodes, everybody. So this is how it's going to work, right? Next week's episode, we're going to go through all the nominees which are being revealed this week.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will have had a chance to see them and, talk about them, whatever. So next week's episode is where we are going to do the what do we predict is going to win in each category. And also, we like to throw in what we personally would pick. It's a nice way of saying what we played that year and what kind of stands out in each category, that kind of thing. This week, what we're going to do, which we've never done before, because that other one, we do it every year.
Yes.
This week, even before we've seen any nominees, we're going to make our predictions for the other aspect of the show, the non-awards aspect, which is the what will they show? What games will be revealed, will be announced, will be showcased at the Game Awards? Because that is another big draw for lots of gamers. They come along to see, what's the next big game? What are the next big trailers? Is Hellblade 2 finally going to get a release date? Things like that. And so we have a little game we're going to play, and we will explain that as we get into it. But of course, we would love to hear from you guys too as the discussion goes on. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you jump down into the comments to share your own thoughts on whatever we bring up, but also play the game with us. We'll explain when we get there, but make the predictions yourself and throw down your predictions. Why not? We'd love to see it. If you guys listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twixter at The Brothers Take. Again, to give your take, make sure you're following the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, ring the notification bell for all future content, including when we do the next episode, which will be going through all the nominees and the categories. Give it a thumbs up, all that stuff. Without further ado, let's get predicting. Okay, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Before we play the game that
Okay.
we're going to play for this week's episode, there was and something that maybe people are theorizing about already, right? So I want to get this one out of the way first, and then we can play the game, right?
Okay.
Last week,
Yes.
Rockstar Games
They did.
put out a message to say that they're coming up to the 25th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto. And just like that, they just dropped in a message that we will have a trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto early December, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, first of all, I am shocked that they actually forewarned people that they're going to have a trailer, but they're obviously going to build mad hype for that. I think outside of FIFA and Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto is one of the most popular video game series ever. The difference being that actual gamers like that one too. Sorry, just throwing a bit of shade there.
Oh, Jesus.
So, my question is, and I think a lot of people are probably wondering this anyway, right? If they're saying they're going to drop a GTA 6, if that's what it's called, trailer in early December, and the Game Awards takes place on the 7th of December,
which is early in that month,
right?
Oh,
is GTA 6 going to be at the Game Awards? What do you think?
I mean, like, this year, I was a little bit, as we're getting closer, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I didn't even know it was a 25th anniversary, but it was something in me was thinking to myself, surely, like, they're going to show GTA 6. Because there was just a lot of talks about it this year, I felt.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought. So then when they announced that, I was like, yeah, there you go. Like I kind of had the feeling. I kind of thought it was going to be a Game Awards. Then when they said, "Oh no, we're going to do it early December," I was like, "Oh, that's weird that they're not doing it for the Game Awards." But now that you've said it, I was like, "Oh no, they actually, yeah, there's a high probability they could do it at the Game Awards, and actually, it'd be really stupid if they didn't
Mm.
do it at the Game Awards
Right. All
because,
eyes are on that show, right?
yes, big gamers, big reviewers, big everything, all eyes on that show, and that's the kind of game you would drop at that. Like honestly, I wouldn't have fucking put out a tweet. I wouldn't have put out a message.
You see,
I would have just done the fucking trailer,
you
done the
see,
teaser trailer.
this is where, yeah, right. Okay, so to me, it's like Grand Theft Auto 6 is the perfect game to put at the Game Awards
Yeah,
because the Game Awards, it's not a state of play. So it's
no,
not like it's not just for PlayStation gamers. It's not a Nintendo Direct and it's not an Xbox showcase, right? It's a all gaming, and so
mm,
it seems like the perfect place to put it. However, I would think that if you are Jeff Keighley and you're in talks at Rockstar about being the first in the world to show the GTA 6 trailer,
mm,
that you would keep that a secret. That would be how you end the show. Like
yeah.
you have to think like GTA
Oh, it's a big
is one
deal.
of the biggest gaming series ever.
I mean, actually, right. It was actually even announced on the radio that Rockstar came out, which
I
for Irish radio, they are as tame and poppy as you can get. Like this stuff is just never really going to be talked about. That you will hear a Taylor Swift song about 10 times a day. So for them to even announce that it's the 25th anniversary of Rockstar's GTA and that they announced that GTA 6 is going to come out is a staple of how big and
oh yeah,
phenomenal
yeah, the
like this
fact
game is.
that a not a trailer, a tweet about a trailer that's
Yeah,
going to come next month
yeah.
made a headline
Hmm,
shows just how big of a deal GTA 6 is. And I'm
hmm.
just curious. I tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if it's at the Game Awards. It seems like the perfect place to put it.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar do their own 25th anniversary showcase type thing, because lots of people have done things like that where they kind of show off like little videos of like the history of GTA and the legacy of GTA and everything, and then they end with their GTA 6 trailer.
I feel like you
And
could
they,
still do that at the Game Awards.
you could, I just wonder, are they going to totally like own it? You know what I mean? Where they're like, it's not going to be on at the same time as any other game. Like all eyes are only going to be on Grand Theft Auto when we announce it. Like maybe it'll be a couple of days after the
Or
Game Awards, and people are no longer talking about the Game Awards now. All the attention has gone on to GTA 6. Like they take away all the steam, or did they do it a few days before? I don't know. But when you say early December,
or there's a thing of they're dropping it early December. People know of the Game Awards. They're going, wait, that's early December. Is it like Jeff Keighley and them got in the cahoots to try get everyone
right? Like go
to
watch it in the hopes that you see the GTA 6 trailer,
yeah, and then
and
the GTA 6 trailer does drop anyway, like
sure, I get you.
maybe.
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
without spoiling it by telling them, yes, our game is going to be at the Game Awards. Because you still want it to be a surprise, like.
You do. I mean, yeah, and like you would end it with it, right? Like,
Right.
is there anything else? I'm trying to think, right? I think the only thing that could maybe in the in the gaming space that could rival GTA 6 as an official announcement at the end of the show, right? Would be the Elder Scrolls 6. But that's absolutely not going to happen,
No, no, they
right?
just had
Because
Starfield.
they
Yeah.
just had Starfield. They're going to work on DLC for Starfield. It's not time to like take the steam off of Starfield yet, right?
Yeah, I think they could though, but yeah.
Yes, I know, I know, but there, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a smart move for them. Like they
No.
have to keep pushing Starfield at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe next year's Game Awards that's worth talking about or considering, but this year, no way, not a hope.
No,
Uh,
no.
but yeah, GTA 6. Curious what people think. Let us know whether GTA 6 is a game that you think will be at the Game Awards or will they do their own thing with it. What do you all think? Do let us know. Get in touch. We put out a little poll for people to go in and pick their predictions for what will make the nominees for Game of the Year. Just the nominees.
Hmm.
So we put out a rake of games from the year this year, and like so many of them, all of them are Game of the Year contenders actually in any other year. I think like it's ridiculous. I looked back at the list, I was like, this is actually insane.
It is very
And it
crazy.
was like try choose six, you know. Obviously now this week the nominees will be out, so you can look at them, you can compare and contrast. And you know, not a lot of people. I mean, we have a fairly small listener base, so this wouldn't be reflective of how everyone thinks. But I thought the results were interesting, and they spoke to like there's some games that are like, well, absolutely, and I will be just shocked if that's not there, right? So I'm gonna call out the ones that got the top votes.
Okay.
All right, Tears of the Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
and Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
100%. Every single person voted those two. Those two
Makes
got
sense. Yeah.
100% votes, right?
Yes.
They were in everyone's sixes. The next highest one was Spider-Man 2. It got 83% votes. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously we'll know, but I think it's going to be there, right? The next one was interesting, and again, it always depends on who your listener base is and who the gamers are. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 67% of the votes that got in there, and that's a great game. We did a spoiler cast on it.
Yeah, that is a great game, and I wouldn't be that surprised if it got in there. I think we talked about this.
I think
before.
I wouldn't be surprised if anything got in there. After like what I think are like the three kind of obvious ones, like the absolute, they're definitely going to be there. After that, I'm like, yeah, it's anyone's game then, like, because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
The next one is interesting, especially because I actually think, even though it was a small group of people who took part in this poll, the percentage, I think you could nearly spread that across the larger gaming base,
Right.
as to whether it's a game of the year or not. Starfield, 50%. To me, it's like makes sense. It's like half people are like, yes, game of the year, and the other half are like, nah. And I feel like that is the kind of attitude towards that game. And then
I've seen some funny videos when it comes to Starfield, to be honest.
there's some good ones. And then the sixth spot was actually tied at 33% across these three games. Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Okay.
Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
And Street Fighter 6.
Wow.
So obviously, look at this. Bringing these up now is null and void with the nominees out basically this week.
Yeah.
But I just
again, we're recording ahead of time, so for us,
and it's just interesting what people are thinking about certain games or where they're, and the fact that it is so divided. Like when I looked at the rest of the list, there were so many like games where one person voted for it but nobody else did, and like Dredge came up, as someone's like in the sixth, definitely game of the year. Like I just think it's so interesting,
Where's Resi? What percentage does Resi 4 get? I'm surprised Alan Wake 2 got better than that. I've played and I cleared and I fucking loved Alan Wake 2, but I just thought
you cleared it?
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I've cleared Alan Wake 2.
Okay, everyone, stick around. At the end of the conversation, Eric is going to give his non-spoiler review for Alan Wake 2. But yeah, no, RE4 Remake did not get a lot of votes. I am surprised.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, again, it depends on who played it out of who actually went in and voted on this particular poll. Can't wait to see if it's really there or not. I'll be shocked. That's one I'll be shocked if it's not. But the competition is so high, it might not be like. And someone might go, yeah, it was great, but it's a remake. Like, it wasn't like a brand new experience. But I'm also like, oh, come on, it's so good.
It's also quite different.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like it's a new game. No doubt about it. But anyway, now we're going to play a new game. Bum. The game of predictions. I don't know why I did the Incredibles theme.
You know what? I fucking love another Incredibles movie.
Oh, they're so good. They're definitely going to do another one. They have to. So this is how the game is going to work. We're actually splitting it into 3 categories. Okay. And those categories are games that will definitely show up at the Game Awards. We're predicting. Okay? Of course, we could be wrong, but this is how we feel. We're like, oh, 100%, I'm behind that one. That's definitely going to happen. The next category is games that will probably be at the Game Awards. Like, there's a really good chance it would be, but it's not as high as you're definite. It's possible it might not. And our third category is the wild card, where you're like, I'm just throwing it out there. I think it could be there, but obviously I have no evidence. There's very little to back it up. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think it's gonna be there, right? Okay, those are our three categories. So for those who are listening, we'd love you guys to play along, especially while there's time. Before, I mean, obviously, if you come back and listen to this after the Game Awards, it's null and void. What are you doing here? But, although it might be fun to look back and like, so what did people think before the show came up? But if you are listening to it before the show, do join in. Let us know, what are your definite predictions? Like, oh, 100% are going to show this. What do you think they'll probably show? And what's your wild card prediction? Get nuts. We wrote a few each. We're gonna, in each category, give the one we feel strongest about in that particular category. And then if we want, we can give a few honorable mentions to the other ones that we had, but only if we want to.
Should we place just to make the game more interesting? Should we place a bet? See who gets the most right?
You want to raise the stakes a bit? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Might be.
What are we betting?
I don't know, $1,000.
Jesus Christ, I'm not betting money. I don't. When I say I 100% think this will definitely show, I don't believe it that much. Okay, we'll make it simple. Right? We'll do a pizza bet, right?
Pizza bet.
Whichever one of us gets the most right, the other one buys the pizza. I think, though, because we only have a few predictions to make here, this will probably have to continue into. We'll have to tally these scores with the. When we do the predictions next for the nominees. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Tie it all together. So across the whole show, who had the most predictions right?
Fair enough. So Adam loses.
Adam loses already because he's not here.
He's not here.
Pizza's on Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, the stakes are high. The category we're going to first is what will definitely be shown at the Game Awards.
Okay.
Eric, what are you predicting will 100% show up at the Game Awards this year?
Something to do with Baldur's Gate 3.
Interesting.
Right?
Like so 100%.
Okay. 100%. Okay. It is either going to be
in the nominees.
in nominee, no, as excluding the nominees.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Extra stuff. Yeah.
As in, like, so it's either going to be, here's the trailer, this is when it's coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
Or here's the DLC. Here's the expansion. Here's the yoke, right?
Okay.
Because I'd reckon they're making one and it'd be a good time to show it off. Especially considering it's nominated for an award of some kind. Maybe
100%. I think as well, because if you look at it, wasn't it last year's Game Awards? Obviously, Elden Ring won that year, right? And it was in a lot of categories, and it was a big favorite that year. And didn't they announce their DLC at the Game Awards last year?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a teaser trailer, but yeah, I think then
you might be onto something. So Baldur's Gate 3, and do you reckon it will be the DLC that it's coming to Xbox or both?
If I could only choose one, I'd put my prediction more on the Xbox announcement.
And do you think they'll do it like this? Because I've seen the quote that they said the plan is still that it's going to come out on Xbox before the end of the year. Do you think they'll do and it got Hi-Fi Rush a lot of attention earlier in the year. Do you think they'll do the whole, and Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to Xbox tonight or after the show, like, or tomorrow, like it's coming immediately?
Yes.
Yeah, I that's a good one.
I just hope that they don't say it's now on Game Pass.
Yeah, I get you.
Because I want to play with you and Adam, but I know.
If
it's on Game Pass, you guys will just get on that, and I'm like, oh,
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see when they announce it for that too, and then I can make the final decision on which platform I'm getting it on. Can't wait to play it. Properly. Like, I've played the intro with you twice now, but I can't wait till I jump into my own adventure. I'm raging that you took that. I did have it somewhere, but so you have that. That's your prediction locked in. Okay, I have one that I had at the top that I'm like most definite about, right? But I think it's boring, like because I think it's so obvious that it's going to be there that I'm going to make that my honorable mention. So I'll mention that in
Okay.
a moment when we're doing honorable mentions, and I'm going to go for the number two actually,
Okay.
right? This is based on just knowing Jeff and knowing
Oh,
Hideo Kojima.
yeah. Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
know
say
you.
100% Death Stranding 2 will be shown at the Game Awards this year. I'm gonna say 100%.
That is fair because it's the 4th year anniversary, and there was doing a lot of publicity for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned that they're
The
still
the
working
the
on it,
the
and
week of us recording this, yeah, they did like a lot of promo stuff for Death Stranding, celebrating its 4 year anniversary. So yeah, actually, yeah, a high possibility something for Death Stranding too.
now I don't think they're gonna show much. I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, here's a big gameplay segment or anything like that. I
No,
think it's
well,
just gonna be another kind of weird concepty trailer.
yeah, it's Hideo Kojima. You're gonna
Yeah,
get 50 weird trailers, right?
yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna be like, I've played the first one and I still don't understand what the second one's about. And then they're gonna drop the gameplay. I like 10 years down the road.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be nearly put together for the Game Awards.
Mm,
It'll be a trailer that's just it's more like just a reminder that's like Death Stranding 2 is still coming. And
yeah,
here's a little something for you to talk about and think about. But you know,
to
it won't
theorize about.
it won't be like here's the release date or anything like that. I
Oh
don't
god,
think
no.
we're
Yeah.
there yet, but yeah, I think Death Stranding 2 will appear. Um so those are our two definites that we've locked in. Baldur's Gate 3, some sort of a new announcement about Baldur's Gate
Mm-hmm.
3, and something on Death Stranding 2.
Okay.
Anything you want to throw in for the honorable mentions on the definite section?
On the definite section, no, I feel like everything else really is sort of like they could do. Like the two things we mentioned, like there really is evidence to back it up because like the Xbox announcement for Baldur's Gate 3, they did say it's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen for the end of the year. Death Stranding 2, there's been a lot of talks of it quite recently. So yeah, like those seem very like there's a lot more evidence to back up that idea that they're going to be definite. But I think everything else is like oh, it might happen. Like like we just said earlier, GTA 6. It
Yeah.
might happen
It
or it
might be
might
at
not.
that, or it might be its own thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I had, because I actually had it above Death Stranding 2, but then I thought, actually, you know what? Death Stranding 2 is a little bit more like, oh, like maybe
Mm.
not everyone's expecting it. The one that I had as number one, so I'm going to just call it an honorable mention now, is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think we'll
Right.
100% definitely have a trailer here. We will see Sid and Rocket Town.
Oh,
That's I've got to
oh,
trot it out there as a definite.
oh. They do like their trailers, don't they? They do like having a
Right, and
fuck
like,
ton of trailers.
well, it's the Game Awards. Everyone's looking at it.
Mm.
Then you've got 2 months left till the game comes out. Really, like that's how
Yeah,
close you're
because
getting
you
to.
had to say it was coming out in February.
I was right. Um, I'm good at this predicting game.
Do you want a
Uh,
pizza?
big fucking pizza. That's actually a Final Fantasy VII reference. The
It
big
is.
pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Rebirth will be shown. The fact that there was a big trailer for it at Summer Game Fest, which was Jeff Keighley's event. That's how he
Mm-hmm.
ended Summer Game Fest, and he ended last year's Game Awards with Final Fantasy 16. So I'm like, yeah, 7 Rebirth has to be. That's another big landmark show where you would put that. Then maybe in January for, I think the original game released, like Final Fantasy 7 released in January, right? So there'll be some sort of 20 something year anniversary, like the
Was it not
27 year.
March?
No, in Japan, I mean, the original release,
Oh,
right?
sorry. Yeah.
So I think that come January then, because you're 1 month away from the release, but you could mark the 20 something, you know, anniversary. That's when you drop the demo for everyone.
Oh,
Giving
because
it,
we still haven't gotten that.
right? Giving it 1 month of like building anticipation and pushing those last few sales.
Mm-hmm.
before the game releases. That's
where
the
we
time.
can where we can play the demo better than everyone else who's like, oh my god, what's happening over there? Oh, I don't know how to attack. It's like fucking play better.
So that's my prediction for like the timeline
Okay.
of
Fucking
things.
hell, man.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
really putting thought into this.
Okay. Oh god, yeah. This is what I do. So let us know, guys, your definite locks for what was shown at the Game Awards. Swear to God, if anyone says Wolverine, I'll be like, "Will you stop? They just put out Spider-Man 2. Slow the fuck down. Slow down."
Yeah, again, it'd be like the Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. It's
Yeah,
that kind of happen.
that's next year. That's
Yeah.
next year. Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
we're going on to
they'll just re-release Starfield, maybe.
yeah, maybe. We're going on to probably.
Probably. Okay.
What will probably be shown? Eric, what do you
Okay.
predict will probably be shown
Right.
at the Game
Considering
Awards?
again, the week of recording this
Mm-hmm.
was November 7th. A certain company released the game to a franchise I love very dearly.
Uh,
So because it was N7 day and they had a teaser for Mass Effect. And there was, I think, a few years ago that the original teaser trailer for the next Mass Effect game was released. I think it's high time to show more. So I'm thinking they might show something like this.
I would love. I hope you win the point on this one because
Okay.
I want that so bad. Like
Yeah.
I actually missed that it was N7 day. Like totally. Like I was working and I didn't even look at my phone all day. I saw none of the marketing or anything. And it was actually the next morning when I got up and looked at my phone and I saw this teaser and I was like, "What the fuck?" N7. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was yesterday."
I keep forgetting November 7th is N7 day.
Yeah, and
Even though
they
it's,
usually do something.
yeah.
They like whether it's showing off key art or there was one year they did the Zoom call with all the casts and
Hmm.
they try and do something. And I suppose when you have a game that's being worked on, it would make sense that come in 7 day you get a little something.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, will it show up at the Game Awards?
I
Like,
hope so. Just come on.
because that teaser did have a look of like, oh, there's more to this. Like it just kind of
Yes.
cut off. Like it looked like, oh, there's probably a longer trailer than that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like I'm loving I love the fucking long Matrix style coat, but it blends in with the armor of Mass Effect, but there's still like this slight difference and just
It's so cool. And did you notice at the end it just said Mass Effect, right? So my
mm,
question is, like, do you think that's the title? Are they just doing it like in the same way as like the Dead Space
like God of
remake
War.
or God of War? It's just called God of War, and it's like it is a continuation, but we've kind of rebooted it. It's kind of a fresh start.
There's a possibility they might just call it Mass Effect and reboot the thing. I think it'd be so interesting to enter this version of the galaxy because yeah, because it looks like from the initial teaser we got,
Yeah,
the Reapers are gone, right?
yeah,
Which I think is really interesting. Well, how do you do that when people had like technically four different endings in Mass Effect?
yeah.
Three, right? Only three of them, though, where everyone survives. Only one of them is the Reapers died. So it'd be interesting to how are they going to explain that? And seeing an older, wiser matriarch Liara, because they lived for 1,000 years and she was only like 100 in that's all, only 100
That's all.
in in the first one. So yeah, it'd
Yeah,
be interesting to see where everyone is at this point.
I think finding some weird, wild way, even though it must be very difficult narratively, to continue the story of Mass Effect
Mm,
is more interesting than like the experiment that they tried with Andromeda,
yeah.
which it just didn't really. Um, they tried to start a whole new franchise and a whole new story with Mass Effect, and it just didn't really hit the same kind of marks that original trilogy did, which is still one of the best video game trilogies of all time. Of all time.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
No, but it is one of. I like
It's pretty good.
it's so good, and the characters are amazing. The world is amazing. Yeah, I hope this is shown. I hope that there's
Mm,
more to Mass Effect. That's another one that you could nearly end the show on. Like I think Mass
yeah.
Effect is big enough that you could do that. It's also one though that would be an absolute baller to open with. To set the stakes really high. To be like, oh shit, like you don't know what you're in for. Like we just
Yeah,
because they tend to open big and close big, and then have lots of nice surprises along the way. So it might be like, could you imagine a Game Awards where the opening was the new Mass Effect and the closing was the new Grand Theft Auto? Like
that
fucking,
would be pretty baller,
that'd
pretty
be
memorable.
insane. Like, and I think this is the 10th year of the Game Awards. This is number 10. It has, you know what I mean? And it's got like the most amazing year of games as well. Like, it's just, this show is gonna fucking rock.
So everyone who's going to the Game Awards, stay in your motherfucking chairs unless you're called up. Don't ruin
Yeah.
this.
Don't you dare. Jeff Keighley's put a lot of hard work into this. I love
Yes,
Jeff.
it's awesome.
He's great. Okay, so Mass Effect. Yeah, hope it happens. I had, for my probably going to be shown, I had a couple of games. Some things have been mentioned already. I'm gonna go with, which one do I want to go as my actual? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one, and then the other ones will just be honorable mentions.
Mhm.
My probably Black Myth Wukong with a release date.
Fair, because we haven't got that yet.
Yeah, I think it's like we've seen quite a bit of the game. I think it was shown at the Summer Game Fest as well. You know, Jeff Keighley's other event. It got a lot of attention there. People are excited about this game. I think now is time to show it one more time, and a release date coming, early next year. That's as in the first half, not the second half. That's what I think. So that, I think that's probably. I'm not like definite on that one, but I have I'm pretty confident that Black Myth Wukong will show again. But this time it's like, okay, this is when you can expect to actually play it.
Okay.
So, I'm excited about that one too. I'm worried about the Soulsborneries of it, but I'm just love the artwork and the vibes.
Well,
so.
it might like they say Soulsborne, but it might be quite. I'm hoping it's quite light,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like it's not a you die all the time sort of game. Like it's difficult, but it's not quite as heavy.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
just elements of it.
Did you have any honorable mentions for your probablys that you wanted to throw
I
out there?
mean, I don't know if they're even probablys, but just like even hopefullys, I suppose.
Sure, if you want to go there.
Hopefullys. That's not a word.
But
Hopefullys.
these aren't your wild cards.
These are not my wild cards, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
because there is a possibility it could happen, for sure, right?
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So something like Ghost of Tsushima 2, like a teaser trailer for that,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
or even a teaser for like Last of Us Part 3.
Right. Which are more likely a state of play type thing.
More likely a state of play thing, but they could happen here. They
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
happen here,
Could.
you know.
Yeah.
So those would be honorable mentions. I kind of would like them to have, but I'd say out of the three I mentioned, Mass Effect has the higher chance of
Probability.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. The other ones I had, not necessarily ones I'm excited for. One I'm definitely not excited for, but I think it probably will show, which is Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. They lost all steam for that. It's coming out in February, I believe. So again, not that long away. This is a big award games show. Like
They showed it the last one, I think, didn't they? Or was that State of Play that they showed it?
It was a state of play, and it did, and then they had to announce that they were delaying it. Like that was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
And
That did
obviously
badly.
people weren't hot on it, so they kind of have to come back with it and go, look, it looks better now, and try sell it again and get people on board. I think you have a lot of eyes at the Game Awards, so there's a good chance that it will, but I'm not definite on it because again, it's not the hottest game,
No.
But maybe they'll turn a few heads this time around. The other one was Hellblade 2. I only put probably. It has shown up at fucking every Game Awards, I think, since its announcement. And it's like, when is this fucking game coming? Like, the last two Game Awards both had Hellblade 2.
It's actually not. They're actually just telling you the story with each.
Right, with each trailer.
Yeah, each trailer, you have to kind of piece it together.
Yeah,
it's artistic, man.
I'm not, only on honorable mention, I'm not 100% in Hellblade 2, but I think if they do show it this time, it comes with a release date.
No, just come with a.
But yeah, that's only if
fair.
if they showed it all. So those are our probablys and honorable mentions in that kind of category. Let us know your own, guys. Either on YouTube, jump down in the comments, audio platforms, touch base on social media. But now, the one that I think is more fun, the wild card prediction. Can I ask, did you have only one? Or did you have more than one?
Um. Oh, I mean, I have one main one,
Okay.
which is just fucking wild out there, and then all the rest are just like, hey, let's try out some other ones.
Okay, because I have three and I'm struggling to like pick one.
Okay, go through your tree, sure,
Okay. Will I?
and then
All
yeah,
three?
yeah, no, and then we can kind of, I don't know, both of us can together decide
Okay. First, my first.
which one's more likely out of the tree.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. My first wild card prediction
Okay.
is abandoned.
Oh,
No, I'm joking. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I would have
I,
loved that. I would
I,
have loved that was one of your ones.
if that shows up, that'd be fucking hilarious. No, I don't have that one. What I do have as a wild card prediction: the Nintendo Switch successor gets officially revealed to the world.
Oh, that's a wild one.
The reason I think that's like a wild card for this particular event is because I think they're more likely to do that at a Nintendo Direct.
For sure. Yeah.
However, they did unveil the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards.
Hmm.
And again, everyone in the gaming community has their eyes on this show.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there as my wildcard prediction. Yeah, fuck it. They're going to show the Nintendo Switch 2 at the
Okay.
Game Awards, right? So that's one wildcard prediction I had. The next one, we'll see the Wonder Woman game.
Okay.
We won't just see the Wonder Woman game, we will get gameplay to the Wonder Woman game.
We're not getting gameplay. We barely even got a fucking teaser, right? We'll just get a better teaser.
I don't mean they'll show like a full mission where you follow the character or anything like that. I
Yeah.
just mean you'll see in like the trailer, you will see actual gameplay cuts like cut together.
Let's get a teaser.
That's my wild card. And the last one, which I think I'm most proud of, we will get an interruption from a member of the audience on stage. However, this is actually I put layers into this one.
Okay.
Put layers into this one, right? Because that's not enough. If it's just that, I don't get this point. Okay, just an interruption. That's nothing. And there will be an interruption from a member of the audience who gets up on stage. However, this time it is scripted and is actually as part of a reveal of a game, and that is DLC for Alan Wake 2. Because it'd be so meta and fucking weird that
It would, but there's no way to have DLC already shown for Alan Wake 2.
but I have news on that. They have already announced DLC for Alan Wake 2.
Like the names of them?
Yes, it's coming early next year, I believe. They announced it before the game even released that they were already working on it.
You know what?
This might be the way to do it.
I fucking hope so. I hope that's what happens. That'd be awesome. Because it was such
if they play it up like Jeff is genuinely like, oh, what, not again, like, you know, but
yeah,
then a big twist happens and the screen glitches or something, or yeah.
that'd be fantastic because it'd be such a play on that happening, and
yeah, and people are nearly expecting. And I think if you notice from like the last couple of awards shows or games shows from Jeff Keighley, I think him and Sam Lake are building a bit of a relationship. Like Sam Lake has physically come on stage with him to talk to him,
right at the Summer Game Fest. Yeah,
and if it's not Hideo Kojima pulling a stunt like that, Sam Lake is probably the next guy to try it.
Yeah, probably.
So those are my three. I don't know which one to like go get told. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get behind. That's my wild card prediction. But I do hope we see some Wonder Woman. And if the Nintendo Switch 2 is there too,
I would
that's
personally,
cool.
put Wonder Woman at the top of your list as more likely to
happen. Probably,
yeah.
But in the spirit of being a total wild card, I want to go for the one that's definitely fucking not gonna happen, but that I'm trying to manifest into reality through the dark place.
Oh, please don't manifest the dark place.
So, what did you have for your wild card?
My wild card is more wild than your wild card.
Holy shit, it gets wilder.
Yeah.
Fucking hang on to your fucking
Yeah.
seatbelts, boys and girls.
Blue Point.
Shut the fuck up.
Remake.
No.
Infinity Blade. Ah!
If Infinity Blade, if I tell you one thing, if
This
I
is becoming the running joke of this year. First it was Skyrim, but now it's Infinity Blade.
if I see the Blue Point logo, I'm gonna shit my pants. if, imagine that. Okay, that's way wilder. That's not gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen. But if you have the Blue Point, I've said this before, right? The Blue Point logo, and then you hear a hammer hitting an anvil, and you hear the steel, and it's a black screen with then the sparks flying up, and then just to make it that more tasty, John Noble begins to speak, and you're like, what? No one even knows what's happening, but I'll know. Me and the 500 people who played Infinity Blade will know. No, that's not true. There was millions of people. It was a very successful game franchise.
I fucking hope it happens. You would 100% lose your mind.
Oh, I'd be jumping on the chair. This would be like Metal Gear Solid thing.
But like 100% more exciting for you because we all knew at one point Metal Gear Solid was going to come back one way or another. But Infinity Blade, I don't think so.
And if they got the original voice actors back, that'd be fucking great.
I don't know from like anyone. Has anyone even heard of Infinity Blade? Well, you've heard of it probably, but have you played it? Has anyone actually played it? You can't now anyway. I don't think, can you?
Nope.
But maybe
makes it that more tasty. It's like forbidden fruit. You can't have it.
Yeah.
You can read books. There's books of it.
I think you get that point even if it's not Blue Point. I don't think it needs to be that. I think if Infinity Blade is at the Game Awards at all, I'll just be like, yeah, Eric gets the point. That's ridiculous. That'd be crazy. But you get extra points if you happen to correctly predict that Blue Point are making it. That'd be just fucking nuts. Okay, guys, let us know your own wild card predictions, and it can be as wild as that. Like it could be like totally, it's like, look at it, it's not gonna happen, but if it does, I get the credit for saying it. You know, throw it out there. And what do you think of our ones? And yeah, the Wonder Woman one is probably the most likely.
More likely out of the ones we just listed.
Yeah, but we just haven't heard about it for so long that I was like, I can't even call that a probably. Like, I don't know what state that's in at the moment. We know nothing about it really, except just that it apparently exists. So, but
who's making that again? Well, it's obviously Warner Brother Games, but
Monarch. Is it Monarch? Is it the guys that did? Or maybe I have the name wrong. You know the guys that did fucking Shadow Mordor now? Shadow of War? Monolith. Yeah, they're making Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I would imagine that means some of the battle mechanics are similar.
Ooh, the Nemesis system, but with Wonder Woman.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
No, I don't know. Like
you don't really want to like a random like goon just like, oh, he killed Wonder Woman and now he's like the most powerful being in all of whatever city she's in. I hope they set it on Themyscira.
Yeah, that'd be sick. And just explore that island, and maybe the island is just taken over, and yeah, that'd be deadly.
Yeah, Ares is the villain.
Do you have any other just general predictions outside of those kind of categories? Obviously, look at next week. We're going to be looking at the actual nominees, going through the categories and predicting what's going to win what and that kind of thing, which is fun. But any other predictions?
There's a possibility that it might actually show some gameplay for the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Konami, maybe Silent Hill 2.
I hope something for Silent Hill 2. God damn it.
Because like,
or just one of the Silent Hill projects. There's like 10 of them.
That could show up again. God, yeah. I hope we might see something on the Final Fantasy 16 DLC. There's a lot out there actually. Because I was like, fuck, after this year, which was crazy. It's like, oh, next year's gonna be so quiet. It's not that there'll be lots of completely new entries next year. There will, but there'll also be like just continuations and expansions on the games from this year.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot to play next year for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I wonder, will they still have that category, the which we will know with the nominees, but like the most anticipated game of
yeah, definitely.
2024. I already know what's winning that one. I don't even care what the other nominees are. That's FF7 Rebirth right there. You can already throw that down as a prediction. That's winning
Unless
that one.
GTA 6 comes out with their fucking announcement before the Game Awards and says
Oh,
2024.
actually, you're right. If GTA 6 is there, that's the only game I think that can trump that in that year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Actually, most anticipated doesn't even need to be in the year. But now that they have announced that that game is being made and there's a trailer coming,
Oh
that can
fuck
be
yeah.
put
Oh
into
Jesus.
anticipated,
Yeah.
and everyone's going, yeah, that game,
Oh
obviously.
my god, of course. I think the
Because like
the
Breath of
tweet
the Wild
alone,
2 was in there for years. No one even had a fucking
you're right.
title for it.
And it won each time.
Yeah.
I think except for the time it was up against Elden Ring. I think
Yeah, it
Elden
was the
Ring.
only time.
Yeah. Okay, well, those are just our wildcard predictions and definite predictions and things like that for what games and stuff will be shown at the Game Awards. We want to know yours. Tell us how fucking out of our minds we are, or whether you think we're right, and let us know your own predictions. Again, on YouTube, jump down in the comments, share your thoughts, give this discussion a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell. To those of you listening on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twixter at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on what you think will be shown at the Game Awards 2023. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. I expect to see, and again, we will know, but I expect to see in some of the categories at least, Alan Wake 2, which has been doing very well. There's also that kind of recency thing where it's fresh in people's minds because it came out not that long ago.
Yeah.
But Eric, you have informed me that you just finished it.
Yes, I finished it. Yeah, a few days ago. Yep. Oh, recording. I finished it a few days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think this is the right time to get a non-spoiler review of Alan Wake 2. That rhymed. Because I am playing it a few hours in. I have no idea. I think I've still only scratched the surface of this game. Probably. I think I
From
don't know.
what you've told me, I think you're a bit closer to the middle of the game. So
Oh, really? Okay. Now I have to say, it gave me an opportunity to play as Saga. There's two characters in the game, and I went right back to Alan. So maybe that's a point where people would normally probably play a bit of Saga before going back to Alan, but I just wanted to play a little bit more as Alan. So I don't know. Like, there's probably a big chunk of Saga I still have to do. Like, I have only been Saga once.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I've only played the start of the game as Saga, and
Like,
then everything else I've done has been Alan Wake so far.
okay, right. So
You get me?
yeah, non-spoilery, you do have to do all the chapters of both characters to finish the game.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So like, I'm at a like the next time I play, I will play a Saga.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to when I was last playing. At that
That's
time, I was like,
that's an interesting thing that you've chosen. Like Alan Wake's parts, I think, are way more intense, are way more like eerie and creepy.
I hear you. I think what it was at the time was, because what I've heard of the game so far, right, from other reviews, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts now in a moment, but I've heard like it's just it's so fucking mind bendy and mind fucky and like like they do crazy shit and like that's the exciting thing about the game. And for me so far, most of that stuff has been when you're Alan Wake. So
Yes.
I had half an hour to play the game, right?
Okay.
And I could either start this chapter as Saga, that I don't know what's going to happen or whatever, and like I'd rather know that I have a good 2 hour chunk to do that. At half an hour, so I decided, right, I'm gonna turn into Alan and see if anything fucking mindfucky happens. And at least if it does, that'll be half an hour that night where I was like, oh, that was time well spent.
Right.
And I was happy I did. That's all I'll say. I won't say any more than that, really, because again, no spoilers here for anyone who hasn't played Alan Wake 2. But Eric, this game has gotten a lot of hype.
Yeah, well, it's definitely like this is Remedy's, I think, fourth game in this universe that they've made.
Okay.
Right. We had Alan Wake, then Quantic Break, Control, and now Alan Wake 2. Or maybe Quantic Break was before Alan Wake. I'm not 100% sure.
with some
But
loose references to Max Payne.
is there references to Max Payne?
Well, and I'll just explain that for a moment, and that's the last I'll say on it, right? Not that they're referencing it in game in content or anything like that. It's not like Max Payne is a character that
Is
they
it
name or
is it
mention,
the
right?
kind of detective character's attitude?
Well, Sam Lake was the face of Max Payne.
Oh,
And in
okay.
this game, he's the face of another character
Yeah.
who is being voice acted by the voice actor of Max Payne.
Oh, that's very good.
He
Okay,
was
fair
pretty
enough. Yeah,
much
yeah.
dressed as
As
Max.
as yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think what it is because obviously Max Payne is now a Rockstar game,
Yeah.
but it started off as Remedies, I believe. I think I have
Okay.
the information right, but so that character is basically like a interpretation of Max Payne.
Fair enough. Okay.
So that's another
That's
reference
pretty
point
cool.
in there.
That's
But yeah,
pretty
anyway,
cool.
anyway.
But I think everything else, I think Quantic Break or Quantum Break, whatever it's called, is referenced in this game. I'm not 100% sure. I know one of the characters in the game is the same actor as the main character from Quantum Break,
It's wild.
right? But I don't know. Is it this? It's definitely not the same person, but this game is so like there's certainly hints at like parallel dimensions and alternate realities and possibly other variations of things, and it is mindfucky for sure,
Right.
right? And it's told so well. And I actually played it where I do chapter of Saga, chapter of Alan, chapter of Saga, chapter of Alan, and I actually found that really good because
Okay.
it kept me guessing the whole time of what's real, what's not real, and I was going down the mindfucky journey with both characters because both of them are going down this absolutely maddening journey of what the hell is going on. Like, and I mean, graphically and sound design is amazing. Like again, as I said, because you were playing Alan's story a little bit more than Saga's, and I was saying that like there's a lot of sounds in that area that's just so creepy and keeps you on edge the whole time
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And I think they captured that really well. So I think like for me, this is scarier than Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space. I
Holy
have
shit.
absolutely jumped way more at this game
Mm-hmm.
because it's there's not cheap jump scares in it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm referring to. There's
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is there is jump scare moments in it, but they're not cheap or anything like that. I think that's done really well. Where I'm just like walking, and then it happens. I'm like, oh fucking pricks, and I think a lot of the performances, once you kind of get more into it, and once the kind of characters get more into it, the performances get that bit better. I think the only time the performance doesn't work is live action Alan Wake
Mm.
because they have an actor playing the live action version of Alan Wake, but they have someone else doing Alan's voice. So that's the only time where I think the acting kind of falls apart. But even that, even how they did the live action is really good. And they took those cues definitely from the likes of Control, like using the things where you might be walking, let's say, as Alan Wake, you might start to hear someone narrating and they're using live action, but as a silhouette. They took that from Control, or watching like TV screens and stuff. They took that from Control. And I think they implement and blend the two together really well. And then pushing it that bit further, where it starts to get into really weird, wacky fucking, especially with Alan. It's very weird and wacky and mind bending with Alan. And then Saga is much more survival horror.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on which one you prefer, well, it's okay because they do both.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for instance, you're preferring the kind of mind bendy stuff, so you want to play as Alan more, but someone else might prefer the kind of survival horror and the item management, so they might play as Saga more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have that, and they have plenty of like sides, little like side stuff to do, like collectibles and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they in the first one they had manuscript pages. That's in this one as well. picking up manuscript pages. So they have the collectibles as well as additional stuff. The map is a little bit more open to explore as well, which is nice. The gameplay I find is easy. It's hard, but is easier than what it was in the first one. The first one was really damn stupid. This one they've definitely like improved upon it a lot more. I think they learned a little bit from Control, and then they're adding upon it and building upon it, and just generally building upon the entirety of the universe that makes it that more interesting. Just blending the games all together, which is it's nice. I like. I'm invested now in this. That I'd be a bit like I kind of want to get the next game that they make that's set in this universe.
I have a couple of questions, right?
Sure.
One, in your opinion, from what you've played, and I know you played Control, and I know you played the original Alan Wake,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a little bit of Quantum Break, or did you
No,
play
I
any of
actually
that? No.
never played
Okay.
that. No.
Do you think this is Remedy's best game?
Yes,
Like, without a shadow of a doubt.
without a shadow of a doubt, they're getting better and better and better as it goes.
Which is great. Like, that's you
Mm.
want to see a studio improve, right?
Yeah.
Is this as good as the reviews are saying? Like, is your overall experience of this game like a highly positive one, or like where do you fall on that?
No, I definitely because I actually really didn't like the first one at all. But this one I do. I really like, and I think the I'm glad it's getting positive reviews because I think it does quite deserve it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of just how it's written and how it plays, how it performs, graphically. Sometimes it really requires you to have an IQ level that is just way above mine with some of the challenges and stuff.
Right.
But that's good because these characters are smart and they're dealing with stuff that's quite out there. Uh, so yeah, no, I'm glad it's getting the praise, and yeah, I think it's deserving of it.
Okay. And is it like up there in turn? Like, because this year is ridiculous, as we've said time and time
Hmm.
again. Is it up there as like one of your favorite games this year, or is it just another great game this year, or like where does it fall in that kind
It's
of
just
list?
you just had to sneak that word in, didn't you? You thought
I,
I had missed the word,
I'm
and
not
I
saying
heard it, man.
I'm not saying is it your favorite game. I'm pretty
It does.
confident that it's not. Right. I'm pretty confident it's not.
It's just it doesn't matter. You said the word.
It's
Uh,
like kryptonite.
hurts me. Um, yes. Out of the 20 games I've played this year, it is one of my favorite of the 20.
It's my 18th favorite. I suppose I just mean because I'm trying to gauge how highly like you would rank it or rate it. I'm just wondering like if I was to say right, name the 5 best games this year for you personally.
Oh,
Do you think it would make
Jesus.
it into that 5, or it's like no, it's really good, but it's not like top 5 or anything?
Um, no, it might not be in the top 5 because I wasn't necessarily quick to jump back into it,
Okay,
if that
okay,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Because
there's no
there's
new game
no
plus, is there?
there's no new game plus. It's like Callisto Protocol. If it had
Yeah,
a new game plus, I would have jumped straight back into it, but it didn't. And I was like, I don't really want to go through all that again.
yeah, I
I
get
like
you.
being that weak again and stuff.
Yeah, but there is a
Uh,
new game plus coming, I believe. So,
is there? Well, what? Just release it with the game. It's not hard.
but that's happened with a few games now. I don't know why it's happening, but it
Yeah.
seems like Spider-Man 2 didn't have a new game plus either. That's coming. Then maybe it'll be
Got
out by time where this is out, but
yeah.
at time of recording it's not. Um, I I just want to hone in on something you said there because from what I've played so far, just because when you make the comparison with Callisto Protocol in terms of the new game plus, I would hope nobody else takes any other comparisons from that though, because I have to say, so this is way better than Callisto Protocol
Mm.
as a game. And like I had some pros for Callisto Protocol. It was a good looking game, like gorgeous lighting and all that kind of stuff. Really good graphics, character models were amazing, but this is definitely a more interesting, just moment to moment experience
Right,
than
and I think this game, even though I've played the first one and I've played Control, so I had a bit of an idea of understanding this universe. even I was still like, I kind of don't really know what to trust here as I was
Right.
playing it. So it
Yeah.
still made me guess, which is really good. Which as like I've played Callisto, I actually played and cleared Callisto Protocol I think twice,
Right.
and I enjoy playing it. I think it's a good game, fun game. I've been tempted to get the kind of some of the DLC stuff for it, but it was the story was predictable. They kind of tell you what's going on at the start of the game, and you're like,
You knew exactly what was happening.
yeah, you're like, oh, okay, that takes the fun out of it because that's about the original Resident Evil 4 or the original Dead Spaces. You kind of don't really know what the hell's going on,
Right. And
and with
some of that's the
all
scary part as well.
yeah, you don't know what's going on. And the thing about a horror is it, the motivation of the player has to be what's going on. The
Right.
motivation of the character is usually to get out of there,
Yeah.
but something keeps stopping them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Motivation to
one of the best things about any horror is the mystery, isn't it?
yes.
And like,
So
and it's like anything. Once you see the like in a lot of horror movies, obviously they hide the monster for a long time, and
mm,
once you see, and you're dying to see it, even though you're also terrified of it. And once you see it, it's like it could look great, but it takes all the mystery out of it.
yeah, thanks a lot. So once you know it,
Yeah.
it's kind of that mystery is gone, the fear is gone. But I actually one thing talking about the player character motivation
Yeah.
is that I found with Saga's motivation to keep going in this game is a really great motivation.
Interesting.
It's a
I'm looking
very
forward then to jumping more into her character because again, I suppose when I had the limited time, I
mm,
wanted to experience some of this mind fucky shit that people are talking about.
yeah.
But next time I play, I'm hoping to have a proper chunk to like really dive into more of what this game has to offer. I think I'm like 6 hours in, but that's like 6 slow hours. It's probably like
Yeah.
for another player that could be actually 5. They probably could have shaved off an hour. There was times where I didn't know where I was going and I was backtracking a lot and looking for things and slowly walking up hallways. Like I don't
Yeah.
run in a horror. I really don't because I'm just like okay, what's coming, what's coming, what's coming, what's coming. Like I only run when there's an immediate danger and it basically says you need to run.
Mm,
Other than that, I don't run because what I hate is I don't want to run around a corner and then suddenly run into an enemy. I like to like
yes.
see them approaching so that I can shoot and keep my distance.
Yes.
You know, I don't like to like fall into a trap or anything like that. So yeah, I'm probably not. Even though my clock says 6 hours, I'm probably not 6 hours. Do you know?
Well, now that I know that like you've only really played Alan Wake, you have played much of Saga
Yeah,
Anderson.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I kind of thought because you kind of told me that you did a certain part of the game, and I was like, oh, okay, he's getting a bit
Yeah,
more
see, most
halfway.
people would have done that after the saga bit that I'm at. I would imagine.
Right, possibly. And so therefore now I'm like, oh, never mind, you're not really halfway. You're
No,
more
no,
like a
I'm
quarter of the way because you
yeah,
still
yeah,
have Saga's quarter and then yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I'll catch up. I do want to finish it, and I'm looking forward to be able to talk about the game at some point in a more spoilery fashion because I think
Mm,
this would be a fun one to talk spoilers for because there is a lot of weird, crazy
yeah.
shit in it. But guys, if you're playing Alan Wake 2, let us know what you think of it. I imagine then Eric, you're recommending the game to anyone as well who maybe hasn't.
If you're a
If you
horror
like
fan,
horror,
because again, like I said, this is quite top tier scary. Well, maybe not top tier. I'm sure there's scarier. Like going to see the Five Nights at Freddy movie. That's just terrifyingly a waste of your money.
uh,
Uh,
well, I think as well you'll be like I would forewarn people. Like they've been very open that Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror game.
yeah,
I don't think people are expecting Alan Wake 2 to be as scary as it is though.
yeah.
You know,
It's
because of the original, I think people will take for granted and will be caught off guard. Like
the annoying one was the first one was a pain in the ass to
yeah.
play.
It's significantly scarier and significantly darker.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And the lighting is really good because when it's dark, it's fucking dark, and you need that torch to
You
shine the
sure
way.
do.
Like,
You sure do.
yeah. So if you do get scared easily, I do not recommend this game. If you're like, fucking bring it, then walk away and enjoy the
Excellent.
ride.
I think they did it was a good idea for them to release it around Halloween
Absolutely.
to have a, because people do look for a nice scary game on Halloween, so to have a brand new kind of AAA horror game. And a great year for horror games, have to say,
Fantastic here.
as well as everything else that we've had this year. Holy shit! But guys, those are some an early review or non-spoiler review of Alan Wake 2. Please let us know if you're playing it, if you're enjoying it, what do you think of it, all that stuff. And like we said earlier, what do you predict will be shown at the Game Awards? Will someone get up, interrupt the show to announce the Alan Wake 2 DLC or whatever?
That'd be great.
Will Infinity Blade remake be revealed? Will we see GTA 6? All those things. Let us know your thoughts, your predictions, and just what you thought of everything else that we brought up this week's episode. So again, if you watch the YouTube, drop down a comment, share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this discussion, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell. We are back next week, and in next week's episode, which is going to be on audio platforms and YouTube, as always, we will be breaking down our predictions for the actual nominees. So make sure you come back for that and share your take too. To those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twixter at The Brothers Take again to give your take on the Game Awards 2023. The predictions have begun, and they will continue. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see who will be buying the pizza next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.